Hi guys, I'm Yalira. Welcome back to my channel, Learning for Life Homeschool. For those of you who are new, the purpose of my channel is to talk about homeschool themes. In previous videos, I already talked about how can you start homeschooling, the pros and cons of homeschool, and today I'm gonna be talking about the learning styles. This is very interesting. The learning styles technically refers to the preferential way in which a student or a person absorbs, processes, comprehends, and retains information. As each child grows and learns, it becomes obvious that each child has its own way of learning and interacting with the world around them. That's why one child may be hours looking and reading a book while the other child always look for excuses to go outside. So that means that every child, every person is different. We learn in different ways, okay? So I made my own research and I found good information in different websites and from books I have already read. So let's start talking about the visual learners. So visual learners, they learn through sight. They are always thinking, creating images in their minds of things to be able to understand and remember them. The visual person usually likes to take notes or doodle while listening. So if your child is visual, it could be useful to buy puzzles, visual memory games, poster maps, and similar things. Now let's talk about auditive learners. Auditory people learn better with sounds. They tend to talk a lot, even speak to themselves. They like to talk with music. They express themselves with music. I think they put music on everything. When teaching difficult information, you can transform it in rhythmic or poetic pattern. You can also let him record his own voice while reading and let him hear his own recording and copy word for word. So that's some of the activities you can do with an auditive learner. How about a tactile learner? If you're a tactile learner, you learn by touching and doing. You understand and remember things through physical movements. You are a hands-on learner who prefers to touch, move, build, or draw what you learn. And you tend to learn better when some type of physical activity is involved. So now, what activities can help with an auditive learner? Well, these are some of the activities you can do. You can encourage them to spell words out of alphabet pasta, shaped pasta. You can try cutting letters and numbers from sandpapers and felt for them to touch. You can cut a 2-piece of string to be used to shape into letters and numbers. And to learn the names of the 50 states, for example, you can let them fill piece of puzzles of individual states. And for math, it's good to use manipulatives. So that's one of the few activities you can do with the tactile learners. How about kinesthetic learners? Well, kinesthetic learners learn best when they can move around their small and large muscle groups. Oftentimes, kinesthetic learners feel their way of learning isn't as good because they can't sit and do the work, but there are lots of ways to maximize their learning style. Kinesthetic learners are very similar to tactile learners, so many of the activities that work for tactile learners may be good for kinesthetic. So let's see what activities can help with a kinesthetic learner. First of all, do not expect your kinesthetic learner to sit in a chair for hours. Even 20 minutes can be a struggle for them, so be careful with this. In between seat work, have physical education or outdoor playtime. Another activity, take them on a nature hike, do some gardening, a science experiment. Take them on a nature hike, do some gardening, a science experiment. You can fill a cookie sheet with sand or salt and have them trace letters and words out. With your finger, they can also trade or shape words and letters out of clay. You can make a writing screen for them. Cut a piece of window screen. Another activity is when you write on the paper, you can allow them to write big. Since raw and large motor movements are more beneficial to kinesthetic learners than fine motor movements. Another activity, writing on chalkboard is good for them. They can write with chalk or a paintbrush dipped in water. Even writing with a stick in the snow, that's fine. There's so much information about the learning styles. That's why I encourage you to make your own research and read all you can, because there's a lot to learn about this and other homeschool themes. I have been homeschooling since 11 years ago, and I'm still learning about many things. So yeah, I encourage you to read and read and read. Don't stop reading. So I think this is all the information I had for you today. Thank you for watching my video, and if you want to see my previous video, click here, okay? And if you like the video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the post notification so you get notified when I upload future videos. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon with another homeschool theme. Bye.